I'm gonna go with Team Secret. I just see some mechanics on their side that definitely can be proven crucial versus the Dragon Knight, versus the Ricky Secret.
I'm gonna stick with OG. I think they got this. It makes them mad.
Okay, so you're hoping for a third game. You could be going the other way with it all. It's time to go to Mr. OD, Pixel, and Fogged once again. Guys, we've had madness with rosters changing mid-game. How much of a difference does it make for you guys?
I mean, yeah, it's quite insane, really, you know, seeing OG change lineup between series, then between games. You know, by the end of this tournament, we're going to have OG turning up with Shawn Michaels on the carry, Trevor Bellman on the mid, Ralph Wiggum on the offlane, Hideo Kojima on the 4, and Lindsay Lohan on the 5. I mean, when does it stop? You know, this get Fogged. What do you expect from this man? What's he going to be able to do? Mid one, he's playing on 200 ping.
And he's the mid.
And he's the mid, and he's playing Void Spirit.
Oh, I don't know, man. I am definitely really excited. OG, I mean, they're all tipping him already. They're like, all right, let's go. We've got, of course, you know, it's mid one playing versus Secret. It's iconic. This should just be fun. This should be a treat. Let's try to forget that he's got, you know, a lot of ping. Let's just see what he can make happen.
Oh, he's putting a nice little smiley face there. He gets a fair few of the tips coming in from all over. But no, definitely entertaining to say the least to see this. But my
keep things entertaining. I think I'm just going to quickly point out one of my favorite things, because I saw people talking about it yesterday, is look at PA's level 20 talents.
Let me have a look at that. All right, so you get Blightstone.
You get a Blightstone at level 20.
You get a Blightstone, okay. But to be fair, you know, it's still probably kind of good, bro. I mean, what is it? Are you taking the blur evasion? I feel like you aren't, right? It's still minus armor on a PA.
That's why I said let's look at some fun right now.
Yeah.
The talents are pretty funky on that one at level 20, but get to the wraparound. DSD's up top.
Now the question is, does Nisha lose mid to mid one playing on 200 ping? I don't think he will, right? If he does, Nisha's, you know, he's having a rough day. I feel like he's playing Ember against the Void. Theoretically, this should be a very hard lane for mid one on ping. And I've also been informed that apparently in Kuala Lumpur, it's 3:30 in the morning at the moment.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it's 3:30 a.m.
It is. It's 12-hour difference for me. It's 3:43 in the morning.
3:43. Sorry, it's getting later earlier. But I guess, you know, these are the gamer hours. This is when people come into their element when they're playing Dota 2. We've all been there. Staying up a little too late one night, you know, you got that win streak going. You don't want to let it go.
Dire's top tower.
I'm also excited because I've watched a bunch of games where I got to see Grimstroke and Ricky, but I'm going to actually cast one. So we also are getting to see this one into play, which I thought we were going to see a lot.
It is.
And I know we did see a lot, but it disappeared when I started casting.
It's definitely, it's a busted duo. Like this laning partnership is. You got to be careful, right? Sure, Zai's on a Slardar. At least this is a hero that if they do get in on top of him, he's able to slow down a bit of the damage in terms of just crushing the Ricky and making sure that he's not getting hit all the time. But when you get level 3 on this Ricky Grimstroke, like the kill potential is off the charts. Zai's got to be incredibly careful up here.
Yeah, the combo is really cool. I like how Secret did pick a lot of like these reactive heroes, right? They see the Ricky and they're like, okay, Slardar looks better because sure, Slardar is a pretty good hero when you have PA anyway, but Corrosive Haze on Ricky is phenomenal. They pick Rubik as a response in a way to the Grimstroke, so he can get the better Grimstroke spells too. So some cool preparations. And their heroes also benefit super highly and specifically from if Rubik gets any of those Grimstroke spells, right? Ember, PA, Slardar.
No, there's definitely some lovely things to be had there.
While we see on the OG side, they also react.
Top lane.
OG.
That's your first blood. Lovely little grab there onto No-Tail. Steps a bit too far forward. Zai's going to be able to force him out to jump back as well. But yeah, No-Tail getting a little out of position. Yapzor and Zai able to run him down. What are we seeing down bottom here? Matu and Puppy. CS for Matu at the moment, 9 for 1, 11 for 1. Keeping it pretty even between these two. Seb on that DK offlane, not really a hero that they're going to be able to burst through or tackle. He's going to feel very solid down here, especially being backed up by Saxa. This, you know, Phoenix DK dual lane, incredibly robust.
Boring lane. There's a PA and an SD on one side, which are just feeding magic stick charges to a DK and a Phoenix. I don't think anyone. I would imagine no one dies down bottom. That's just going to be the farming lane.
No, top lane's where the action.
Top's the fun.
As we've seen already, you know, Zai and Yapzor able to make that first strike, but of course we're expecting once the levels are there, OG able to punch back. Nice little play there from Yapzor, is able to time the telekinesis in a way that Sumail is not able to blink strike in and get the use of that ink swell off perfectly. Zai does find an opportunity to run down No-Tail though yet again. Another bash connects, and it's a second time where No-Tail just being caught a little too far forward. He has to be careful. Zai's able to run him down multiple times and just bash him off the game.
That's a really, I mean, it's just a very strong lane, right? The Ricky, or the Slardar as well as the Rubik in comparison. I mean, we did say the Grimstroke as well as the Ricky can be strong, but the Grimstroke has to be very careful of his positioning. Yapzor has been already very cautious because he has the boot, so he can actually play around it, and he has ways to play around the combo, like you said. He can lift and throw him away at the last second.
And look at this mid lane. You gotta say hats off to mid one. He's 18 and 6 against the 20 for 1. You know, he is doing brilliantly in this lane despite the ping issues. Mid one showing that to himself, it is no worry whatsoever in this matchup. Where I've seen Void Spirit struggle early on against an Ember, and this is a niche Ember as well. You know, mid one showing that his skill is at a level that ping doesn't matter for this man.
And he gets the rune.
Steal the rune into the bottle too, so a full up there, 3 charges, and an illusion ready to pop. Things just getting better and better for mid one in this mid matchup.
And Soxa just sniped bottom courier. He's running toward mid. He did see this courier
he's
too. He's gonna try.
He's got it.
He's gonna get it.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
So things looking up and up for mid one in this mid lane. He's already been having a great time. Now Nisha's without a courier. Nisha has got no regen left to get out. He is a level away from the 6. Of course, will be able to make a trip back himself with the use of the remnants. But for this whole level 5, mid one's going to feel very powerful in this lane.
Yeah, Soxa just acquired his team, what, 500 gold? 58 and 51, so 100 gold, 109 gold each. Not too shabby from quick little rotations from the Phoenix.
Looks like on the side lanes, nobody's really losing out. Everyone's finding farm. I think the biggest surprise is that, for me at least, on these first 5 minutes, OG's not been able to do anything with this duo lane. Zion and Japs have just been able to play very smartly and make sure that they're actually the aggressors in most of these situations, finding opportunities to close the gap onto No-Tail, and No-Tail and Sumail aren't actually able to make plays onto these two.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the mid and the bottom, like we said, were kind of like washes in a way. Yeah. Mid, after like the start, you imagine the mid one's going to do pretty well, and bottom, it's just these trade farm. Now Matumba is getting low, though, and Soxa jump forward.
Yeah, he's already used his spells. No dives available. He's tanking the tower. Saxa will go down. Third kill's picked up for Secret. Seb also going to take a few tower hits there. Matu and Puppy are wanting to stick around in the lane. Tango will be shared over towards Matu. There's no extra regen coming out as of yet, though, so Matu is going to have to sit around very low whilst he waits for that courier to come out and bring him some more tangos.
And Seb's getting a ton down bottom. We imagined that he would get full free farm, but we didn't get to actually talk too much about the DK and, you know, how they came to pick it. You see him and he's playing versus this Slardar and PA, you're imagining, yeah, of course, it's because of that high armor. He's also going to add a good lockdown for his team.
He's in with the gank. He's moved down bottom. He's able to set up for a kill onto Saxa.
Matu is low as well. He knows that, and Matu does not have mana for TP.
Matu played sort of the greedy move. We saw how low he was. He was sitting around. They're looking for him in the trees. Mid ones are hunting. Matu keeping himself hidden quite nicely, but mid one, he's persistent, and he will find him. Finding Matu in the trees. Matu's able to jump over. There is an Astral Step and soon to be 2 charges available on mid one. Jumps in with the first one. Destruction will be there, but Matu, he's already going to go down. Mid one with this rotation, securing them 2 kills, maybe even a second one onto Puppy, as Puppy is surrounded by Seb and mid one in the trees. Puppy trying his best with the dukes. Mid one's still got another charge in the step, ready to zip through him, as Puppy will almost certainly fall. Pops the stick charges, it will not save him. Mid one, despite the ping, he played mid perfectly, and the rotations, they're coming brilliantly. Nisha is able to make the use of the space given, and that is indeed a very early tier 1 tower to be taken just 7 minutes in.
I like his persistence of chasing down bottom, though, but yeah, Nisha, that's what we've seen. That's what the panel talked about, too, is these two teams, if one person's doing one thing, the other team is very likely to not just react to what you're doing, but just make their own move. They always have a lot of different elements that they can trade with. And now the rotation's coming out from Nisha, which is a little bit more natural for him right after the tower.
Dire's courier has been killed.
And just Soxa with the chains that he levels up.
Soxa, he's got to be burning down. Another remnant from Nisha finishes the job. It's by the tier 2, but there's no reaction from OG in an attempt to catch him and turn it around. Top lane, Sumail and No-Tail were able to find that pick off onto Zai. The combo finally strong enough. Now with the 6 as well, Sumail ready to play a little more aggressive, knowing that he can rely on the invis to fade out if they do try and turn upon him. The same to be said though, Zai, obviously once he has his 6, Sumail does have to be very wary, and they're good at timing this game is jump out from mid one. He's able to casually walk away from the 3-man move. They won't be able to catch this Void Spirit.
Thanks be to you.
He kind of has to just move around a lot, though, as we do expect from Void Spirits anyway. But he just doesn't have a mid. He doesn't have a mid tower like this early on, so it's kind of difficult for him because he just has to make these moves, and it should be pretty readable, at least by Secret, to know that those movements are happening. It's Matsu already.
TP's coming in. Matsu won't walk into the Remnant. Double TPs. Both Puppey and Nisha turning up. Mid one's got to be careful. He's going to keep himself hidden in the trees. The Spirit Sound to Matsu, putting him off any sort of idea of diving in for this. No Tail's also around to back up the cause of OG. Nisha steps forward. A little hard for both teams to get a bite on one another. Maybe if Nisha can find the change, they can go. Nisha still wanting to play aggressive with this Arcane Rune. Dagger in onto Seb. Still got a bit of a duration left on the Dragon Form. Nisha getting caught by the Remnant. Drag back, but the defensive disruption keeps him safe. And now with the numbers, Secret are able to overrun OG. They move over towards No Tail. Now they turn their attention towards Mid One. Nisha, he's got the chains back up. The remainder of that Arcane Rune really paying off for him. As Mid One still trying to run. Nisha's been able to bring him low. Matsu coming in with the dagger. Over he goes with the Dissimulate. Mid One goes in aggressively, but he's straight into a chain. Matsu's able to turn and crit him down, but Matsu will fall for his efforts, and Puppey also ticks down to the damage of the Dragon Form from Seb. Nisha hiding in the trees. Samel, has he got the damage to take him? Chains will stop Samel from jumping around any further, but the vision's there from that ward. He's able to close the gap. Nisha throwing down a Remnant to jump over. If Seb can find the Breathe Fire, it should bring him down, and it will. Seb's able to get the angle. They do kill off Nisha's Ember Spirit, and they should be able to finish off this tier 1 bot.
They brought the numbers. Even Sumail made the rotation down bottom to help out his friends and end up getting that kill. I think without him, there's no way they get that kill on Nisha. Nisha was able to play very aggressively. I think Zai opted to not move because he just... I think I saw him TP and cancel maybe? Or did he... I'm not sure. I know his TP was on cooldown afterwards, but he was just farming up top. But OG, yeah, persistence, bringing more heroes, and they do get that. And they will get the tower finally.
Structures are fortified.
We'll see. Zai obviously getting some decent space to farm up. What is he just going to be looking to rush a blink this game on the Slardar?
Not too probably not sure. I think Boxy's the one that I've seen play it the most, and he still does blink agonyms for the most part, right?
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
They do. I mean, I guess they do have other ways to set up the fight if he does want to go for some sort of aura build first. You know, both sort of the Ember, Rubik, the Shadow Demon, multiple ways to sort of initiate.
Yeah, not too sure just yet. He's actually got a faded brooch coming out for himself too for the Slaughter, so that's pretty nice.
Very nice, yeah.
Needs the mana for the sprint now, of course, because it costs that and just that little bit more movement speed. He's level 6 now too, so Sumail has to be careful when he shows face.
Yeah, he does. You can see already just jumping around, a little wary of giving Zai the opportunity to go for that Corrosive Haze. They're just going to try and jump in onto Zai, and despite Zai having the backup, Zai's in trouble. The disruption comes into play, but he's been surrounded. Zai gets one further crush up, but he falls. Secret unable to help him. Puppey has to bail, and so does Yapsor. Despite trying to set up there with their 2 supports, OG were prepared, and Sumail's able to make the jump onto Zai before Secret can make a move themselves.
The power of the combo. I love it. I really love seeing this Ricky Grimstroke.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It's very, very hard to play against because there's just very little you can do. Just sort of the range that Sumail's able to blink strike in safely, and usually from Invis. You know, we're sort of the counterplay. The only thing they have to offer is Puppey being in place to buy some time for someone with the disruption. But we're seeing even that it's not enough to save you from being caught by this jump in mid lane.
Nisha.
Everyone finds some setup, but that and the Dragon Tail Stone won't be enough to hold Nisha down. 12 minute runes up. Mid one's already been able to get in place to bottle it up. Nisha coming in. Slight fist onto Seb, but still this DK with the 3 points of the Dragon's Blood. Too tanky to deal with. They don't want to commit anything further on to Seb, and the most important thing right now for Secret is that Matsu is able to find that Deso as quick as possible. And likewise for OG, making sure that Sumail gets a good timing on his Diffusal Blade. They're going to get Sumail involved.
Nice wrap around here that they're doing. Who are they going to find? It's going to just be Puppey.
Yeah, that's the easy one to find. Disruption buys him a little bit of time, but a quick nuke from both Mid One and No Tail finishes off the kill.
I like that approach they take because they know they can't just like walk up to the tier 1 mid as it's full HP untouched so far. I just bit my tongue. It's so hard. Oh my god, ow. They make that aggressive move to try to get some wards and catch somebody. I'm sorry, that really hurt. And yeah, now they get a little bit of pressure down bottom and they scare Matu is the biggest thing. He has to back up and hide it in the trees.
Dire's top
see mid. Looks like we're going to see another bit of action here. Nisha We'll grab him. Mid-One's able to find that angle. Nisha does still have remnants to play with. He jumps over. You see Mid-One there trying to predict where Nisha was to head to. Nisha's still alive, but Puppey will fall. Again, OG, they are keeping the aggression very, very high at the moment, and we'll be able to continue to take this tier 1 tower down bottom. Space does continue to be there on the side lanes for Zai, and on the bottom lane, Matu was able to start finding some farm, but Sumail shows himself, and still both of these carries closing in very good timing on these all-important items, the Diffusal and the Desolator.
He's so scared bottom. Like, look at Matumba's positioning this whole time because of the way OG approached these last few moments, this last like 2 minutes, the way they went into the enemy jungle. You could expect there might be a ward somewhere around there, and then they just went straight for the mid tower. But he still didn't see the Riki, and he still hadn't seen No Tail for some time, so he knows that there's just a chance of that Inkswalk combo. Has to be cautious.
OG sweeping over the mid lane. We have seen the last few times they have struggled to make a jump on Tanisha until they start getting points in the smoke screen on Riki. It is unlikely that the Dragon Tail stun's going to be enough to hold him in. They do find Japsol.
Very quick blink there.
More here.
That was very nice by Seb.
In Secret, they're staying on the high ground, seeing if they can maybe fight into this, but OG with the numbers. Secret aren't interested. They'll back off. They do not want to try and fight OG here, as OG will be able to sweep up top, try and take this tier 1 tower. Matu, about 1,000 gold away from the Deso. And again, he's playing very smartly, Matu. Anytime that he is aware of OG being on the hunt for him, he makes sure that he's not getting caught out. Mid lane.
Play versus very high armor heroes, though, as we have mentioned. Sure, there's going to be that Corrosive Haze that'll buff him up by a lot, but Riki has one of the higher armors in the game, and then DK as well. Riki has one of the agility heroes, has one of the highest armors, and then DK as well. So they're still going to be very innately tanky, even when he does get that with the Corrosive Haze. And OG, they're pressing their advantage very well right now. We look at their lineup, and they have just better team fight overall and just better ways to control inside of the fights. So they're just, continuing to put the pressure on the Secret. Don't let this PA get the space, because you know the PA's not fighting.
No, not until. Not until that iron's done. Matu's got no interest. And even then, without the BKB, things are quite scary for him. OG, lots of means to deal with the PA. Their elements of crowd control and of course the spirits from the Phoenix always an issue.
They're trying for him down bottom. They've got the dust.
And he is alone. They are TPing over towards the outpost, OG, to try and help out. You are seeing, indeed, as you say, that high armor on the Riki come into play there, giving him extra time to jump around and juke them out. As Sumail, he's actually been able to run away by the looks of it. Now the time has been there for No Tail and Mid-One to turn up. They're in with the Soul Band. They're going to be able to turn it. OG turn it around. Mid-One picks up the double kill. They just couldn't kill Sumail. And yeah, you really did say, no, this Riki sits on 15 armor. Yeah, at the 16 minutes in, he really does have that much physical damage reduction.
Yep. He does not he does not really care when he gets Corrosive Haze. It's sure when you get like later on it'll start adding up, but he also gets crazy more armor. Like it's just going to continue growing like that anyway. And yeah, OG just keeps dictating the pace of the game. 6-14. Secret are gonna they need just a lot more time for Matumba, but they need also to get this Blink Dagger on Zai so they can make these plays if they want to easier.
And they do have that Diffusal done for Sumail. So a bit of a lead in here, this initiation onto Seb. He's going to be attempting. Mid-One's already coming in from the side. They get the stun onto No Tail, but No Tail's fine. Chains out both onto Seb and Mid-One. The lead forward, Seb turns with the Dragon Tail onto Nisha. Zai jumps forward. The Supernova out as well on the high ground. It's a great positioning. It's going to force Secret to think twice about trying to fight this. The Supernova still eclipses both Nisha and Puppey, allowing Sumail to jump over towards the Shadow Demon, over towards the Ember. They 3 or 4 dead on Secret. An excellent hold there from OG as they stand strong, take the fight. Saxa finding an excellent position for that Supernova up on the high ground, where Secret, they just didn't have an answer to it. They could not get in position to deal with it, and the decision to retreat, it came all but too late.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
They just don't have the damage or the fighting power at all to just take it to OG. Like even when they have number advantage to try to catch these heroes, OG's heroes just a bit too tanky, and backup arrives too quickly. Saxa had like just absolutely perfect positioning there on the high ground. Hits 2 heroes with the stun, hits them with the majority of the damage too. He's gonna have a Spirit Vessel already finished. This is looking like a very, very tall mountain for Secret to climb.
Oh, and honestly, like mid one, you know, we talked about itemization on the Void Spirit last game. You know, I said I like the blade balance, the Ags. This game, mid one, he's going to go straight for the Aghanims, and this is fantastic because you look at the heroes on Secret, and you know what mid one's done. He's obviously seen this Ember. He sees he has the Javelin. He knows he's obviously going to have to commit for the Maelstrom first before he has any sort of defensive capabilities. So getting this double charge of silence online this early because of how fast mid one's been able to find the gold. You know, an 18-minute Aghanims, they just don't have anywhere near close to the items to deal with this amount of silence. You know, both this Ember Spirit and the PA, for that matter of fact, are going to get destroyed by these resonant pulses.
Yeah. For sure, and it makes him even like another. Sure, he doesn't have the highest armor as a Void Spirit. It's not bad as you know, for this hero, but now he's got more damage mitigation. You know, you base shield absorb, you got double absorbs, high burst damage, double silences. Yeah, it's going to be really solid, and they've got an arcane rune now, so he's looking to get aggressive. Doesn't cast the silence on Nisha that time.
Yeah, it was just a little slow. Nisha was able to duke it out.
But Zai's been forced to go for a drum now too. He had the blink queued up, and they're feeling like they need to be able to do something to respond. But I mean, OG is just running them over.
Yeah, the OG's lineup is just so deadly right now. Secret cannot afford to fight them. Both Ricky and Void Spirit just being able to close the gap and use this Ink Swell so offensively. Mid lane set. He's found the lead in for another free kill onto Yabzor. The catch is there. OG, they're playing so fast right now. It's 20-6, a 7k lead. Now, mid one, honestly, we really cannot commend the man enough here. Playing on ping, he's 5-1-10, and his Void Spirit performance so far, it's been brilliant.
Yeah, it's been absolutely dominant. Even though he lost his mid tower so early, his movement down bottom actually kind of secured and set up all this in motion of giving Seb such a good game too to get such an early blink, and he's made a lot of plays out of it too. So yeah, it's been a lot of good teamwork coming out of OG. They might lose Noto, Nisha, getting aggressive.
Yeah, he can't quite commit for Saxa, knowing that Saxa has the Supernova. So we'll let Saxa be. Mid lane, Zai trying to hold on to this tier 2. Pushing the two of them back.
I don't know how Secret can just take any actual just big team fights though, because they don't have any real team fight on their lineup. And OG, they have pretty decent one. Like the Phoenix is the majority of it, but besides that, it's pretty damn good in comparison. Secret just very single target oriented.
Let's see what they can catch. This one does this better. In fact, that's going to be the quick jump from Seb. He's instantly in onto Nisha. Nisha wasn't ready, and Nisha is dead. The Supernova will get popped. There'll be a buyback for Nisha because his team, they need it. Zai, he's trying to fight up against mid one and Seb in the river. Sumail has been found, but a jump back to safety. Sumail will get out of there, but Zai, he finds the opportunity to get in with a corrosive phase and to set up for Sumail to go down. They'll turn their attention over towards Seb. It's buyback for Nisha, allowing them to join forces and move back in. But Nisha, he's got to be careful. He's been soulbound. Have they got the silence followed? They have. The silence is there onto the two of them. Mid-one, he's going to have an issue with the pulse in a couple of seconds. They've got to be prepared for this silence to simulate into the resonant pulse. He's silenced yet again. The remnant pulls him in. Mid-one, this man's insane. He's got himself a triple. He's over towards Poppy. Poppy, he's getting smashed. Mid-one hits back at Secret. It's an ultra kill for the man playing on 200 ping. And I can't quite believe this. 10, 1, and 11. Honestly, what the hell were OG not doing, not playing with this man? Who gives a shit about the ping when he can play this damn good on it?
I mean, now they're probably looking at the clock and they're like, you know, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, but sorry, Midwin, you know, like, you did pretty good here.
I think,
he's really owning, actually.
No, well, I think
every single play.
We're going to see, you know, sort of after everything sort of blows over and we get back to normal lives. You know, OG, they're going to boot camp with everybody sort of in Europe. But Mid-One, they're going to say, can you stay over in Malaysia? And we're going to boot camp when it's 4 a.m. because apparently that's the prime time for Mid-One. This is the sort of the situation where Mid-One starts to make the magic happen.
I mean, this is probably, what, his 30th game of Dota of the day? So he's all warmed up.
I guess that's true.
This pleases me to no end.
No, he's putting on quite a show here.
Yeah, and this I like the itemization to this game too. Just like we said, that straight Aghanims is just so damn potent.
It just ruins certain lineups because, as I say, you're just not itemized to deal with this amount of silence this early on as the enemy side. No one's gonna have a BKB. No one's gonna have a Yule Scepter. You've got nothing to remove it. Your only safe players. Again, the disruption, but that's just not really a save because most of the time, Puppy, he's in range of the Resonant Pulse. You got to remember, this Resonant Pulse, it covers a huge area.
It's 500. It's actually it's super big. Secret are all smoked up, but it still isn't like, taking a straight up fight. It just seems so damn hard, as we've been seeing over and over again. And now Sox is also even level 12.
I'll take him, Rush. It's 26-9. It's a 10k lead for OG. Hitting back hard here in this game too, after a bit of a rough end to game 1. For the roster change up and change of strats, it's working perfectly here, as now it's really on Secret to try and turn this one around, and I don't know what they're going to be looking towards to be able to do that. Matu, obviously after that Deso, he's still trying to get his BKB done. I imagine, does he have the, he has got the recipe, right? Okay, yeah. He's managed to get it
he's got the whole thing, right?
Yeah, so now at least he can worry less about the silence. He can pop that BKB, try and commit for maybe one of the supports on the back. As you said yourself already, the cores aren't necessarily an option, even with the Deso and the Corrosive Haze. You're not going to be able to BKB and guarantee a kill on them in the middle of a team fight. So it is hard for Matu.
I'm just looking more at PA's talents, and PA's talents just look quite rubbish in general now. Just look at all 8 of them, right?
You're not wrong. 12 damage.
I mean, triple stifling is still pretty bad, but like 12 damage, a 20% cleave. They all look quite nasty.
I mean, I think it's kind of deserved. PA was pretty good before the patch.
Yeah, it was.
There was certain regions that were, this hero was sort of a free win a lot of the times when you grabbed it in the safe lane.
Yeah, but I'm impressed how much he's been able to keep up so far in this game, though. He's still like pretty much top of net worth with the DK. I'm very impressed for him.
Puppy, he's moving in on this. Seb's going to be able to jump over him, turn towards Zai with the Dragon Tails. Then the Supernova's out. Zai's got to run, but the Diffuser Blade's slowing down. Zai will fall as well. Double kill for Sumail. OG just continuing the slaughter, as they are crushing Secret here in this game too.
Yeah, and they're all sticking together. And as I was talking before, I do not see a way that Secret can win a 5v5 fight when you're playing versus this ever. Like their lineup just can't do it until way later if they've got more space and more items. Just the powers of their heroes that OG has with the Phoenix to the DK.
No, and I just opened up the console as well, just to check the ping, but no, it's 196 ping he's on mid one. We're not fooling around here, and neither's mid one. Showing that it really doesn't matter. Honestly, if anyone ever uses the ping argument for playing badly in the future, we're just going to reference them this game and say, look at this. Ping doesn't mean anything, at least for mid one. Maybe mid one's just a
maybe mid one's I think he just
that's also very likely.
He's fueled by the ping, if anything.
Oh yeah. See on the mid, they get the silence onto Nisha. Still able to make the jump out. Secret will be able to retreat to the high ground.
You have the gratitude of the void.
They're just staying right outside the base though for the moment. Looks like they're backing up, checking some runes really quickly on both Saksa and Sumail, but they're keeping them contained. Don't let them get any type of space and for this PA to get any farm, because he's really the only one who is farmed. Nisha is starting to look for a place to get a little bit. He's going up toward top to push it in even more. But OG is limiting a lot by what they're doing right now, just sitting in the mid. They're blocking all avenues of farm from Secret.
Yeah, he cannot turn up to these fights without Yules, Nisha. Just too many silences to deal with.
Yeah, but even then, it's like, he drops down, he might just get hit by another one immediately. It's a bit of a scary one. It feels like this might have... I don't want to say that he had to go for like BKB next item because it's too expensive. I feel like this probably was his best option, just some small type of way to protect himself. Because he also just has to watch out of a lot of things too, right? It's not just the silence. It's a Ricky Cloud, it's a DK stun. There's a lot of other elements that he does have to be very wary of.
I think if anything, he's just not getting the BKB now because he realizes he's going to need both. He's going to have to go for BKB after the rules. But of course, that's going mid lane. He just walks in straight into a smoke screen. Nisha's just been locked down. There's no way to play out of this one. The Supernova's out. Sep does get focused by Matu. Matu commits with the BKB. Will be able to bring down the DK. So Matu will be able to finally use his power to take down one of the cores of OG, and that will put OG off from pushing for more. Still, though, the items continue to fly out thick and fast for OG. Mid one has a completed Desolator on its way out on top of the Aghanims and that casual plate mail that he picked up on the way to make sure that he is also a very tanky hero. As not all, maybe not tanky enough though. Mid one. Using the Remnant as well to try and put the PA up for jumping for more. As Matthew's got to be careful. Hasn't got his BKB available for 30 seconds. The turn with the sun round to Puppy. Throws the dagger back onto Samel. Mid one. He's committing in for this. He's playing aggro. He wants to use the Sages. Does get it popped. They kill off Sai. Matthew has to jump up to the high ground. Mid one. He's ready to dive for more. He's able to get in. Slides in with the Astro Step. Pulls Puppy back in with the Remnant. Not quite enough burst to kill Puppy. Puppy will live this time.
Okay, Secret punching back a little bit. Who got the majority of the gold there? I did see it was a buyback, and okay. It looks like the hero that was supposed to, at least for the side of Secret. Matumba does end up getting a little bit for himself there. Cost him the buyback, but it's really all about the PA at this point. At least for them.
He's their damage dealer.
Still a long and tall mountain to climb continuously. They're gonna chase more though. There's Ricky's still dead. But they get dissuaded.
He's going to start punching back. And Sai, for his efforts, he's going to pay with his life. Sai will fall. Matsu's trying to go. BKB is in onto mid one, but mid one's still going to dissimulate. Jumps over to the side. He's also got an Astro Step charge. Good to go. He's out of there. They turn with the Soul Bound, and Matsu's trying to whip this BKB onto the Dragonite. But the BKB hits, and mid one, he instantly had the control in place. The Ether Remnant was already laid down, so as soon as the PA came out of the BKB, Matsu got pulled aside by it. It's 4 dead on Secret. Yet again, OG, they're just winning every single team fight right now. Mid one is 13-1-15. This game just continues to get better and better for OG.
Yeah, and that was a fight where Sep was probably just like, oh, this is like, yeah, look at the taunt. He's just like, I have a Lotus Orb, and I mean, he didn't have the Halberd finish, but he's a DK, and he was the one getting the brunt of the force there as they're chasing. It was a perfect setup for the supports to just get everything off on them as well as mid one. Now they can go toward that mid, and that's a big. That's probably the nail in the coffin for this one.
I don't see anywhere the Secret turn this one. I think if anything, just out of respect to the mid one plays this game, you sort of just tap out. You can see there, you say, look, well, you guys got us here in this game too. We're gonna have to come back with something different in game 3.
Radiant's middle barracks are under.
As OG. They are certainly doing it in the second game. These racks proving to be very hard for Secret to defend. And they push him off the range racks. Samel does get corrosive haste, and with the respawns, OG do respect it. I say that mid one he jumped straight back in.
Very mid one-esque right there.
Look at the chains on him. It's a buyback as well from Puppy. They really want to kill off this Void Spirit, but they won't be able to. He's out of there. Far too slippery for them to deal with.
They'll smoke. They'll play it safe just on that buyback. The majority of the damage was done. They didn't get the melee racks, but Secret fully on the defensive, and OG, now they can try to reinitiate.
And they certainly can. In they go straight away. BKB pop from Matu, tries to go in for Samel, but Samel's able to jump over the Trickster trade. Mid one commits onto the backlines. Mid one's already taken out both supports. He gets out of there, but Matu tries to commit with the Halberd, comes in, he's been disarmed. He's got to get out. The Supernova's bunny down. They'll top it out. This game is over. GG is called. OG are going to be the ones to take game 2, with mid one turning up 16-1-15 on the mid Void Spirit, despite playing on 200 ping at 4 AM in the morning.